You are now watching your mans in them live.
You are now rocking with your mans in them.
Shrooms.
Yes.
That's one thing we haven't talked about.
Doing comments.
I do want to try it. I do want to
Magic
try
mushrooms,
shrooms.
not like not a.
Yes, I've had like hinkerings of wanting to like
Try it out?
To try it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
All right, tell you about it. It's a big, bold question. All right, so psychedelics is like a hot topic right now, right? There's natural psychedelics and there's synthetic psychedelics, right? So there's things like cannabis, obviously, like we talked about. There's obviously, let's talk about CBD is the non-high
THC.
one, right? And then CBD is the one you don't get high on. THC is the one you get high on. Fine. Ketamine is the one that's legal right now, right? We use ketamine in emergency departments all the time. We use it for pain. We use it for sedation. People use it for all that stuff. And then there's magic mushrooms, right? I actually do lectures about this. I talk about it. So magic mushrooms has actually evolved with us. We found it in like shamans' pockets, pouches from like 5,000 years ago across the entire world, from like Greek islands, South America. We still have like peyote in Southwest North America. It's legal to Native Americans to use peyote. These are all different types of hallucinogenics. They're called serotonergic type of drugs. So that means they impact the serotonin, which is kind of similar if you think about SSRIs, antidepressants, are actually targeting the same exact thing. They actually found antidepressants because they did research on LSD, which is acid, and mushrooms. And so mushrooms, LSD, MDMA, right, which is Molly, are all being looked at to help in a lot of ways. But it's not just do the drugs, have a good time. It's about use the drugs to open. They're called empathogens, right? To feel empathy, feel connection to places. So it's got to be done with therapy. It's got to be done with that insight for growth, right? Is what we talk about. So magic mushrooms.
Guide, right?
A guide, 100%. Shamans, there's therapists that are trained in it.
Spiritual leaders, something like that.
Yeah, spiritual leaders, like someone that you can trust, that you can feel comfortable and open about with it. And ketamine does something similar, which is at this point the most accessible one. And they're all over the place. And also, just like cannabis, probably doing too much.
And there's another one that we're not mentioning. It's that one, it's not ashwagandha, it's
Ayahuasca.
So ayahuasca is the plant of DMT. So DMT is actually, like I'm telling you, like they're looking at this in different ways. So there's something called neuroplasticity, right? So we're talking about the brain growing and recovering. Neuroplasticity is plastic means to grow new nerves. And so they're actually looking at DMT, which is ayahuasca, for stroke treatment. But also what it is that, this is how they say it. This guy, there's a great TV show on Netflix called Change Your Mind by Michael Pollan. He's the host of it. And what he talks about, it's like this. It's like if you have your set paths, how you react to things, how you get triggered by things, how you feel when someone questions you, whatever it is, the way he said is like ski tracks. And these psychedelics, magic mushrooms, kind of gives you a fresh layer of snow. You might still go back into those tracks, but it gives you a chance to see things in different ways. There's a new path, exactly, to react in a better way. There's this awesome, there's something called an fMRI, which is like this imaging in your brain, shows what parts are active. It's crazy. It shows your brain normal, like these little connections between your brain, and then it shows your brain after you do a psilocybin, after you do the psilocybin is the active ingredient in magic mushrooms, and it shows you how the brain like looks alive on magic mushrooms. It gives you these connections. There's something
like lightning, right?
Lightning, right? It's like these connections in your brain never made. So there's something called the stoned ape theory. It's not 100%, it's a theory, right? So we got to say it that way. The stoned ape theory is basically like, there's Neanderthals and Homo sapiens. I don't know if you know about this. Neanderthals were like bigger. They had like thicker hair. They were supposed to like survive, but the Homo sapiens survived, right?
Right.
That's why we're here today in Brooklyn. Brooklyn, right? And so what it is like that stoned ape theory is basically we were walking down the prairies back in the day, and we noticed like we're trying to like survive, and we see these plants coming out of the dung of cows and all these like horses that were dating straight up, and we ate the mushrooms, and all of a sudden we realized that there was new connections. How do we make fire? How do we use tools? How do we make weapons? It's called the stoned ape theory.
I ain't know it was because of shit. I know it was because of shit.
We've been through some shit.
Yeah, we literally went through the shit to survive the shit.
Yo, that's cool.
It's fucking wild. I mean, to me, it's wild, right? It's wild, this idea of like what it was, this little thing in the ground, and then it gave you this new connection, new outlook in life. And it's gonna come through. It's gonna be mainstream. Like, I don't know about mainstream, but it's gonna be legalized. They're doing it for PTSD, for alcohol use disorder, which is like severe alcoholism. Like right now, the treatment we got is not good. 25% success rate. With MDMA, which is Molly, like pure, good, medical grade, what I mean is no contaminants, no fentanyl, none of that stuff.
You know what I'm noticing for the most part? I mean, your whole message throughout this whole conversation is
responsibility.
Okay, exactly. Right. You like, don't let the recreational use kind of there's a bad reputation for some of them.
Of course.
like kind of throw away the helpful properties of these medicines. These natural herbs, medicines, hallucinogens, and things like that.
We the only ones that wear the crown. It's your mans in them. It's your mans in them.